Well, I'm back again, this time to show you how to make a really nice tall swing set that is strong and stable and tons of fun. It's really tall, measuring 10 foot 9 inches to the top of the beam, and a tall swing set has to be built strong and stable because when your riders are flying high, they don't want to feel that swing set moving around underneath them. You have to use some good brackets. These brackets have a 60-degree angle between the legs, which most don't, and they're made with heavy steel plate, about 1/8 inch thick, which is about twice the thickness of the Chinese brackets you'll find elsewhere. Well, let's get going on it. You don't have to take any notes. You can go to my website roomtozoom.com where you'll find lists of every single thing you need. For the legs, I used 4x4 by 12 feet long. For the beam, it's a 10-foot 4x6. And the two horizontal cross pieces that go across the legs, I bought 8 foot long. I used Douglas fir, which is one of the strongest, stiffest woods there is. Or you can use redwood or about whatever else you can find. If you use a softer wood like a pine, if that's all that's available in your area, you might like to beef up the beam to a 6x6 instead of a 4x6. With the beam being 10 foot long, 4x6 pine is typically strong enough. But if you wanted to go with a 6x6, that's something that this bracket will let you do. And you can stain or paint the wood if you want, and you can even soak the bottom of the legs in wood preservative overnight if you'd like. Or if you prefer, or if you just can't find any other type of lumber in your area, which many of you may run into, you can use pressure-treated lumber. The only issue with pressure-treated lumber is that it can be corrosive to metal, so you'll want to use hardware that's rated for use with treated lumber, such as hot-dipped zinc-coated hardware. And you'll also want to check on your hardware every couple of years to see that your fasteners still look like they're in good condition. Another option you have for a beam is to make one using 3 2x6s, which should be readily available wherever you live. You can assemble this beam from these boards using plenty of 3-inch deck screws that you drive in from both sides. As you can see, the bracket also works great with this constructed beam. So I'm going with a 4x6 beam and it's 10 feet long. Don't ever go longer than a 10-foot beam on a tall swing set unless you use a 6x6 beam. Then you could go up to 12 feet long. And my suggestion for the spacing of the swing hangers on the beam is 16 inches from the end of the beam to the center of the first swing hanger and 36 inches from the end of the beam to the center of the second swing hanger, which you can see means that each pair of swing hangers are 20 inches apart, each pair that hold one swing. You center the swing hanger on the 16-inch mark it with a drill bit, and drill it through. Place a bolt in the first hole you drilled, and mark and drill the next. Mark the center of the next hanger at 36 inches and repeat. Drill all the holes in the beam. Here's the spacing on paper. Next, flip the beam over, and with a hammer insert a 3/8 inch bolt with a 3/8 inch washer over a 1/2 inch washer. Flip it back over and stick the hanger on with again a 1/2 inch washer and then a 3/8 inch washer. Then the lock nuts and tighten it. And then install the rest of the hangers. Then grab a bracket, place it flush to the end of the beam, and with a drill bit mark where the hole goes. Take the bracket off, drill it halfway through, not all the way through the beam. Then flip it over, place the other bracket, the matching half of the first bracket, flush to the end of the beam, mark it, and remove the bracket and drill all the way through to find the first hole, and you'll see it's easy to do. Then grab a bracket, a carriage bolt, put the carriage bolt through the hole, put this bracket on over the beam, put the 1/2 inch washer, the 3/8 inch washer, the lock nut, and tighten. And then for the screws into the bracket, I like using headlock screws. These are 2 7/8 inch, and it's a strong structural fastener, but you can go with anything you want. Then insert the legs into the bracket. Sometimes if you have a 4x4 with real square edges, you have to knock some of that square edge off with a file to get it to go in. And attach it with the screws. And then the next leg, sometimes you gotta work them in to get them in. Then you stand it up. With 4 people, you each get on the beam, lift it up to your waist, and then transition, one person going to each of the 4 legs, and you ease it on over. You then position each of the 4 legs so that the set feels the most stable. And then we're ready to add the horizontal cross pieces on the legs. First, measure up 70 inches from the bottom of the leg. And there, with a 5/16 inch drill bit, in the middle of the leg, you will pre-drill the hole for the lag bolts, but don't drill all the way through. Go maybe 3 inches in. And then on your horizontal cross piece, 3 inches from the end, you will drill all the way through in the center with a 3/8 inch drill bit. And then you insert your 3/8 inch lag bolt, which is 6 inches long, and a washer, and you drive it into the leg. And then you either eyeball it or you use a level, and you lift up the horizontal cross piece to where it looks level. And then you eyeball and mark with your drill bit where you should drill, where your lag would go through the middle of the horizontal cross piece and into the middle of the leg. You then lower the horizontal cross piece so that you can drill all the way through that mark with your 3/8 inch drill bit. You then hold the horizontal piece back up level again, and with the drill bit through the hole, you notch on the leg where you will be drilling with your 5/16 inch drill bit. You then lower the horizontal piece again and drill into the leg. You're pre-drilling it with the 5/16 inch bit, and you don't go all the way through. You go most of the way through. Then you insert and tighten your 3/8 inch lag bolt. All this was done with the 8-foot long 4x4, so you can now cut off the end to your desired length. And that's it for the frame. If you have built the frame with different brackets, with a smaller angle between the legs, which will be the case with nearly all Chinese-made brackets and all the other brackets out there, you'll need to dig holes and cement the legs into the ground. Otherwise, when you're swinging, it'll just feel like the whole set's going to tip over. It'll lift up so much. And that's the beauty of these brackets here, is that you won't have to cement the set into the ground, which is a ton of work, because the angle between the legs is wide enough that the set won't try and lift when they're swinging. And as a plus, without it cemented into the ground, you're free to move the set around your yard as much as you want, if not only to avoid bare spots in your lawn. And all that's left now is to hang the swings. I went with a more vintage look with the wooden seats and the heavy-duty rope. Or you might like to go with vinyl seats and a stainless steel chain. The vinyl seats hold the smaller kids in a little better when they're swinging high, and the stainless steel chain doesn't corrode, so it stays smooth on their fingers. You can also add some color to the set with vinyl seats. They come in red, yellow, blue, black, and green. This brand vinyl seat is my favorite. It has a much thicker vinyl in the seat, so it doesn't wrap so tight around you, which makes it more comfortable, but it still holds the kids in good enough. I'll put links on to where to get this. I'll also put links on my website of every other thing used here. And there you have it, a great tall swing set. Please don't forget to like my video and visit me at my website roomtozoom.com for complete lists of everything you need and videos of other great swing sets you can make.